Welcome back to DT Daily. I'm Tim Becker in for Casey Montoya. In tech news today, Mozilla debuts the first Firefox OS smartphones. Temple Run 2 generates 20 million downloads in just 4 days. AT&T is acquiring Alltel. France considers taxing internet companies, and a father and son startup offers a $300,000 3D printed burger. The first smartphones running Firefox OS are finally here. The Spanish startup Geeks Phone created the devices, which have low-end specs and are made specifically for developers looking to create apps for Mozilla's web-based operating system. Spanish mobile service provider Telefónica is also a partner in the Firefox OS phones and plans to sell the handsets in emerging markets. There's no word yet on pricing or availability, but you can expect the devices to be fairly inexpensive. Temple Run 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to Temple Run made for Apple's iOS, has received 20 million downloads in just 4 days. The sequel features improved graphics, new environments, and more moves, and so far has been played 210 million times. Temple Run 2 is currently available for the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, with an Android version lined up for launch next week. AT&T announced today that it will buy Alltel U.S. wireless operations for about $780 million. It is purchasing the licenses, retail stores, and network assets, along with about 585,000 subscribers from Atlantic Telenetwork Incorporated. The acquisition will boost AT&T's reach in rural areas in 6 states in the South and the Midwest, and the company says Alltel customers can expect improvements to the network as a result of the buyout. Eyeing the massive profits being made by companies like Google, Facebook, and Amazon, the French government is considering taxing the revenue these companies earn in France. The current regime views these companies as tax avoiders and has issued a 200-page report commissioned by President François Hollande identifying various measures that his government could take to tax them. Google alone generates $2 billion in ad revenue per year in France and pays virtually no taxes there. A father and son startup called Modern Meadow has figured out a way to combine a process called bioprinting with real edible food to create a 3D printed burger that you can actually eat as long as you have $300,000 to blow on a meal. Using the same technology that scientists employ to print artificial organs, Modern Meadow uses specialized stem cells layered in the shape of a burger, which you will still have to cook and season yourself. That does it for today's edition of DT Daily. As Apple readies for an earnings call tomorrow, though, many analysts and skeptics alike are bracing for what could be one of the most disappointing quarters yet. Are rumors of Apple's downfall overblown, or is there something to them? Check back with digital trends later today when we take a closer look.